Right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The UK has gone to war with 4chan. Yeah. Well, the UK government, anyway. What a weird turn of events. So, for those that aren't aware, the UK government implemented something called the Online Safety Act. It was originally introduced by other governments, right? So, the Tories. But it was and now Labour actually passed it. But it was put into act under the guise of child safety, which is just absolute pure nonsense when you keep importing the third world, right? Like you don't care about protecting women or children online because you keep importing people that commit rape at a disproportionate rate. That's just so, yeah, I mean, obviously you're just talking nonsense, right? Obviously this was just an effort to clamp down on speech in the UK. I won't say free speech because we haven't had free speech for ages in the UK, despite what Keir Starmer says. So this was solely a very cynical effort to further clamp down on speech. Anyone that says, "Oh, it's to clamp down on free speech," you just come on. You've been gaslit into believing that you had it prior to this because you don't. You haven't had it for a long time. Anyway, the UK government decided to target 4chan. And this has not gone down very well. It's not gone down very well at all. But it was incredibly comical because 4chan has basically just said, okay, you want to go to war? Let's go to war. Which is brilliant. It's heavily comical. It's just what is required, I think, by these absolute raging imbeciles. And they've even threatened effectively charging money to the UK government, like sending them an invoice, fining them, basically. It's crazy. It's crazy. So we're going to take a look at this. Please do hit subscribe and turn the bell notifications on. But let's dive right into it. So, as this article notes, which is a pretty good one actually on medium.com, and it just says, in a move that feels equal parts bureaucratic muscle flexing and comedy skit, which it does, the UK's Office of Communications, Ofcom, has reportedly fired off a legal notice to 4chan, which is the internet's... We know what 4chan is. Don't argue with people on 4chan. What are you doing? So the notice allegedly threatens the image board with a 20 grand fine and daily penalties for non-compliance with the Online Safety Act, which is, of course, what I've just said, but they say sweeping legislation meant to tame the web's more unruly corners. I mean, it's not. It is day one of the Online Safety Act. There was censorship of protests and historical fact and things like this. It's just an effort to clamp down on speech in general and hide information. That's all it was. That's all it is. And it's trash. So, naturally, 4chan didn't take this lying down, and according to a recent chatter, the site's lawyers have dropped a pointed response, presumably one that doesn't include an apology fruit basket. So what was the response? Well, here it is. Very, very funny. And it's from Burn and Storm PC, attorneys at law. A statement regarding Ofcom's reported provisional notice, 4chan Community Support LLC. Burn and Storm PC, Common Law, represent 4chan Community Support LLC. According to press reports, the UK Office of Communications has issued a provisional notice under the Online Safety Act alleging a contravention by 4chan and indicating an intention to impose a penalty of £20,000 plus daily penalties thereafter. Check this out. 4chan is a United States company incorporated in Delaware with no establishment, assets, or operations in the United Kingdom. Any attempt to impose or enforce a penalty against 4chan will be resisted in US federal court. Fascinating. American businesses do not surrender their First Amendment rights because a foreign bureaucrat sends them an email. Under settled principles of US law, American courts will not enforce foreign penal fines or censorship codes. If necessary, we will seek appropriate relief in US federal court to confirm these principles. And it just, I mean, it's blistering, really. It just goes on. So United States federal authorities have been briefed on this matter. So they've already gone to the feds, basically. And then they target Sir Keir Starmer. The Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, was reportedly warned by the White House to cease targeting Americans with UK censorship codes, according to reporting in The Telegraph on July 30th. Despite these warnings, Ofcom continues its illegal campaign of harassment against American technology firms. A political solution to this matter is urgently required, and that solution must come from the highest levels of American government. We call on the Trump administration to invoke all diplomatic and legal levers available to the United States to protect American companies from extraterritorial censorship mandates. Our client reserves all rights. Why would you do this? Absolute raging morons. Like genuine idiots. So funny. This is what they've claimed anyway, is that 4chan 4chan hasn't provided a risk assessment on illegal content. They don't need to. They're an American-based company, so shut up. Responds to formal information requests. Well, they didn't respond to formal information requests. Like, again, they don't need to. Show evidence of measures to mitigate harmful content under UK law. They don't need to. Ofcom, armed with new powers under the Online Safety Act, has been swinging its regulatory hammer at fringe platforms. 4chan just happens to be the latest target. Officials appear concerned about the platform's role in spreading illegal content, including hate speech and kiddie bits, which I don't know if there is, but it doesn't. I don't know if that makes. I don't know if there is. Yeah, I mean, saying that they're gonna fine them. I mean, mate, this isn't gonna go down the way you think it's gonna go down. This is not what you do. And obviously it's just, it's taking the internet by storm. Everyone's just laughing at them. Basically, yeah, no, mate, we're not doing this. We aren't doing this at all. So, yeah, comical. Very, very, very comical. But this is just an effort to clamp down on speech just generally. And it is very much commie crap. Just stop, mate. You can't control the internet. Stop. You can try, but then you'll just destroy it. They were even at one point thinking of banning VPNs, but you couldn't do that. And this claim has been disputed, by the way, obviously. But I'm just going to run with the fact that it may have been the case. But then they forget that obviously they use VPNs. So well done, Sir Queer Starmer. Well done.